Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, he's a dragon trainer, but he looks dapper in a pair of dragon trainers. He's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Hell yeah! Oh yeah, we do. Hats,
Cups.
shirts, underwear.
Dragon cups.
Hell yeah!
He's got a dragon on it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of the show.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us, new listeners and repeat offenders. Pretty cool episode.
Yeah.
Bit metal.
Yeah.
We got the dragons. Talking, of course, this week about dragons.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bit loud in my ear tonight. What's going on? Yes. Complaints. Technical issues. Get IT in.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Cross a bomb.
Well, this week, like I say, talking dragons.
Yeah.
Dragon, if you don't know, is a reptilian-like creature.
Yeah.
A legendary mythical creature.
Yes.
If you want to get technical, that appears in folklore worldwide, right? Which leads to speculation that there could be some sort of truth in the legend. We're going to be looking into it a little bit later on in the show.
Oh yeah.
Have you got any first impressions on the whole dragon thing?
Yeah.
I mean, dragons.
It is. It's a new, unique subject, I'd say.
I kind of like, obviously when you're a kid, it's lumped into the fairy tale sort of category, isn't it?
Yeah.
The dragons, fairies, elves, gnomes.
Yeah. There's
those types of things.
Yeah.
No such thing, but I mean, they're in fairy stories. But I always like to think there is roots in truth with these things. Especially as we know dinosaurs. We'll be looking into it a bit later on.
Different directions on this one.
We're going to be going this way, that way.
Sideways, left, up.
Zigging and zagging.
In or out.
It's been an interesting week. Yeah, to say the least. Jinx. And you can't speak till somebody says your name. I got punch you in the arm. No, I'll let you off for this one. But I'll punch you in the arm. I'll slap you in the face. That is a segue to it, Mr. Taylor. Yeah, there you go. I've said your name now.
There we go.
Thank you. Right. So,
I missed it.
Mr. Taylor's good enough, I'd say. He sat there like he's holding his breath.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
It's like, come on, say my name.
I can't say nothing.
But yeah, talking about slapping in the faces, obviously this week, Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the talk of the town, wasn't it? Like I say, I think we're a bit late in the off the boat with this one, because obviously, like, it happened last week, earlier on in the week. So we just released our last episode. The newspapers were the same though, because
that's true.
Over here in the UK, especially because of the time difference, by the time it happened, we were all just waking up. So it was a case of that we saw, like, all these things, weren't it?
I mean, you 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I had seen it.
What the hell's happening on the Oscars?
Yeah.
I was just like, what? I woke up to that, and a lot of people did.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on that? Because, I mean, I know obviously all the jokes have been made now, and, like, everybody's talked about it. But my first impressions were that he kind of just took it as a joke.
Yeah.
But she didn't seem too impressed and almost went like, Will, are you gonna let him get away with this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Am I going to have another affair to get you to stand up?
Oh, that was a bit. Well, so yeah, because she on that red table.
Yeah,
thing
she got programmed red table.
But he said that he'd had an affair as well. I think they both.
Yeah, but did you see
a troubled relationship?
Did you see his face when she actually dropped it on him?
He was shocked. Well, of course, I think anybody would be in that situation. You know, I mean, it's not like you knew beforehand, and I mean, you get that sort of information.
Yeah, but
you're going to be shocked, and it's like straight away. It's who with, what, where, when, how did this happen?
His son's mate.
It turned out to be his son's friend.
He had drug problems, and she was trying to help him.
Well, like, so she was looking at Will like as if to say, "Look, you're going to go and defend my honor."
Yeah, I think
if Tupac was here, we would have shot him.
Yeah.
So
But do you reckon he should have slapped, or should have just walked up there and said?
Well, I mean, she's cost him his Oscar, basically, hasn't she? That's how it's kind of come across now, because obviously he's, worked hard to get where he is, to get to that night where he's going to get his Oscar for Best Actor.
Yeah.
And then
still wins it.
And because this is funny, isn't it? I mean, it's like 1 second he's going up and assaulting somebody, but then the next minute everyone's hugging and praising him.
But that's for what he did as an actor, not
I know,
as to
but I
what
mean,
he
obviously,
did
but I
afterwards,
mean,
isn't it,
it's still assault.
Yeah.
And it's like to do that, it's, you know.
we're still waiting on Chris. He's still
It's like that scene. I mean,
and waiting for
Will
something.
Smith just, you know, I mean, apparently they've had kind of like they've worked together in the past. Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Mates,
I mean, they were on. I think Chris Rock was even on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, but there's other issues behind it because apparently he's been sniping at them other shows as well over a long period.
It's Chris Rock. I mean, like I say, I mean, the Ricky Gervais comparison's been made so many times this week about what Ricky Gervais has said in the past to people and not got a punch. Chris Rock, what in comparison was really tame.
Oh, really tame? Yeah, there's no need for it.
But obviously, in greater context with what's going on with Will Smith's wife.
Yeah.
Then she's obviously got health issues. With that context on board, it's a bit, is it a bit much?
She was openly saying it every opportunity she could say. And now I've just heard Will Smith's been taken off Netflix.
What, all of his movies?
Yeah,
so
everything
no
that he's
Independence
doing.
Day,
Yeah.
no bloody Men in Black.
Yeah, basically, I don't know if he's got a show as well, I think, where he goes around the world and stuff.
No,
I
In
think that's
Pursuit
been
of
taken.
Slappiness.
Well, wow.
Devastation.
It is. Will he get charged? Will he not?
Do you know,
and he's also left the Academy as well because he was a part of the Academy.
This week, we're not a movie review podcast by any stretch, but I mean, we do have a bit more new movie kind of related news. Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He's quitting acting, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he has to, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, because apparently he's been diagnosed with like a brain tumor of some description.
Yeah, basically too much doing his own stunts. Basically, he's
Tom Cruise, you need to pay attention here. Doing your own stunts.
Yeah, but it'll only a matter of time till one of them drops.
I know you're still trying to get out of Scientology, and it is a way.
Come over here and we'll help you. We'll give you the treat.
I can't be arsed with Tom Cruise hanging around.
No, but we can do it on his yacht, and we can take this to nice little places, so we can have nice little discussions.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, I'm all right.
Yeah, all right then. I'll go to the
You
paradise.
go and chill. Yeah, you do that. I'll be all right over here. But yeah, I mean, Bruce Willis, one of my favourites. He's, followed his career throughout, and it's sad to see him retire from acting.
It is, but he's got.
It's one of those when you know, when it's time to chill out and look after your health, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day.
And he's not gone because there's 6 movies he's already done that
are ready to come out.
Yeah.
Holograms. So, we'll see him in a hologram at some point.
Hey, yeah, you can see that.
We can superimpose Mr. Willis's face onto somebody else.
Yeah, voiceover.
Jake Gyllenhaal, or what's his name? What was that other one called? You know who I mean. Do you know the actor out of 21 Jump Street?
Oh, yeah.
You see, you're doing it now. I'm looking at you like, go on, remember, what's he called? Channing Tatum.
That's it.
Channing Tatum.
That's it,
yeah, stick Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis's head on there and just send him in and do movies. Yeah, it'll be sweet.
Well,
Die Hard 500.
Yeah, he walks in there with a bit more weight than he usually carries.
I know, that's me overselling Bruce Willis a little bit there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. What have you been up to this week?
Me, I've been I've been moonlighting again.
You have, haven't you? Where are you been Sorry, but I can't speak English. Where have you been moonlighting this week, Mr. Taylor?
Big Fairy Science.
Big Fairy Science. Big
Aaron,
shout out to Aaron and Big Fairy Science.
Yeah,
I'll come over and do a spot with you at some point.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, I did. I did one interview with him, but he split into 2 parts because he does like half-an-hour shows.
Oh, right, okay. So how did it go then? Did you enjoy the time over at Big Fairy Science? Did he have some big fairies?
He did, yes.
Because that's it. If you got a title like Big Fairy Science, then I want a Big Fairies man, and he's delivering on that. So make sure you go over and check out Big Fairy Science over on YouTube.
Yeah,
and you will see 2 episodes there with Mr. Taylor.
Yes, I'm there
30 years experience in the UFO community.
Yes,
there you go.
I'm loving it.
Well. I've just been working, doing me usual bits. But I will say we're on Redwall Radio again this week.
Oh, we are
9 p.m.
every week.
No, it's actually from 8 p.m. this week.
See.
8 p.m. 8 till 10 aroundabouts, or here or thereabouts.
Yeah. Depending how long the show is.
Yeah, but check them out, Redwall Radio. They're an internet
definitely.
radio station where they play some really funky tracks. We've got a really good playlist.
Definitely worth a listen.
Lots of different shows,
Yeah.
talk shows and music-based shows. So,
There's
go and check them out.
there, isn't there?
And we're on it
mixed bag. Yeah,
every week,
it's got to be
Thursday
great.
from 8 o'clock.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Come and tune in.
Yeah, so that's our week.
It is, yeah.
It's been an interesting one.
Yeah.
Lots more to talk about in the news a bit later on. But yeah, Will's had a bit of a... He's sat with his head in his hands now, isn't he? Because it was that thing that basically LA police said that even though he's not pressed charges, he's got the right to in the future if he desires. So basically he's there with Will Smith's nuts in a vice. Going,
very true.
Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro.
Will Smith's going to have to be very nice to him at one point or another.
He has apologised, though.
Has he?
Yeah, apparently he apologised to Chris Rock. Pretty much straight away. I mean, he did. It was not at the awards itself. No. He apologised to everybody, but at the awards. Yeah. But afterwards, he did send a statement about it and saying he was very sorry to Chris Rock. But
see, because I hear on the news a lot that he hasn't apologised yet because he had a show afterwards, Chris Rock. The day after.
Everybody hates Chris.
In Boston, I think it was. And he'd come out and people had asked about it and he went, well, what week I've had?
Yeah, totally. I mean, obviously, what can you say about it? Everybody saw it. What more can you say? I mean, if you were Chris Rock... Everyone's waiting for his statement. No, wow. This is the thing. It's this... I mean, there was a lot of speculation to whether it was actually staged. Because, I mean, on first impressions, it did actually look like a stage punch.
What a slap, though.
Oh, the memes that came in. Anyway, moving on. This week's episode. Oh yeah. It's brought to you in part by HelloFreshUK.
Yes.
And they've got an exciting offer for you. It's a flash sale, which is running till April 20th, and the offer contains over 60% off your first box.
Whoa, 60%. That's nice.
And 35% off your next free.
Oh,
so it is a pretty exciting offer. If you don't know what HelloFresh are, HelloFresh are a food delivery option where they send you the ingredients you need to create exciting
and nice meals.
Very nice meals. But they give you all the bits, so there's no food waste. It's got everything you need portioned up, so it's just a case of choosing the meals that you want or the sort of diet you require or like the sort of things you like. And then HelloFresh will be able to send you meals and the kit and everything you need for the meal, plus a meal card teaching you how to make it, all included in the box. And like I say, and the offer at the moment is 60% off your first box plus 35% off the next free.
Get it while it's
there'll be a code and a link in the description. Well. Thank you, HelloFresh.
Thank you.
I love a bit of... I had a song, didn't I? HelloFresh. I had my song. I was singing this song all afternoon, and it's like, HelloFresh. It's a great tune. It's I might drop that one day.
In a local shop soon.
Yeah.
LP and CD.
For people who are too lazy to go shops. Hello. Right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Right. So, this week we're talking dragons.
We are.
Dragons.
Not about the mother-in-laws or anything like that.
Oh, well, I haven't got a mother-in-law for a start, so I'm not going to get in any trouble there. But that analogy has been made in the past by a lot of comedians. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
So, like I say, dragon. It's a reptilian-like legendary creature. It appears in folklore in many cultures worldwide. And, the beliefs about dragons are varied from different cultures. So, for instance, in the Western culture, dragons have been they were quite popular in the Middle Ages and often depicted as winged, horned, four-legged creatures with the ability to breathe fire in a lot of times. Then in the East... in Eastern cultures, they were described as winged, four-legged, serpent-like creatures with a high intelligence.
Yeah, and give you good luck and strength.
Yeah,
and
I've heard that actually. And
heroes.
they say that they provide strength and power, and do you know, like they have the 13 animals of the star sign in China.
Yeah.
Well, apparently one of them's the dragon. I think it's the fifth. Yeah. So the fifth sort of advent is the dragon.
Yeah.
And people apparently try and coordinate the pregnancies to coincide with the dragon year because they want those traits for their kids, being really big at business.
You want it in my year then, because in my one, I'm the golden dragon in there.
You're the fucking golden lotus or something. The golden dragon.
Yeah, I'm a golden dragon.
I'm double dragon. What are you talking about?
And because we used to do Chinese New Year and that in
school.
we
used to do that in school, actually. Yeah.
What star sign are you? So it turned out I was like,
I think I'm something. I don't even know. Let me Google it now quickly. So going into the dragons though, while I'm Googling this.
Yeah. Well, dragon actually is an old Greek name, Draktona, which actually means to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of dragons are in there's a lot of it to do with the sea as well as land. I mean, they've gone on every single continent, in deserts, from hillsides to wooded areas to flat grounds. I mean, they are worldwide that actual cultures have brought in, and apparently we've had it since the start of humanity.
Yeah, pretty much, because I mean, dragons have come up in myths. Historically, everywhere. I mean, you've just said there. Where did you say the Greeks?
Yeah,
the Greeks who kind of come up with it. But I mean, I'd say there's evidence in terms of dragon depictions that go even further back than the Greeks, and we'll get into that. And just quickly, my zodiac for the Chinese zodiac is 1981. It's the rooster.
Oh, you're the rooster.
So I'm a bit of a cock.
You are a bit of a cock. Yeah, that suits you right. That.
Shut up. Cheers. Apparently, the rooster. Right. So there you go. I do remember someone telling us that in school. But
then you would attack.
Peck your eyes out. Yeah, attack a dragon.
Yeah, you'd attack a dragon.
So
especially the size of a worm.
So dragons, they've come about quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, off first hand, just quickly, what do you think the origins of dragons are? Do you think that they're rooted in truth, or do you think that they're remnants from dinosaurs, perhaps? Or, I mean, what's on first opinions, without knowing anything, what would you say?
To be fair, with knowing me, I would go back to...
You're going to say aliens, aren't you?
I am. To be honest, I am, because of stuff that I've seen about, like picture art and that of, like, flames. The flames is coming from the machine that's actually moving and stuff like that. Well, again,
actually, I can see where you're coming from with that. And rather than it's out of context and what, without anything to stack it up against, if you've got no comparison to anything other than myths that you've heard of a winged beast that breathes fire, then if you did see a ship in the sky that was trailing flames, then potentially you might think that was a dragon.
I think because we've got a 1/3 of the world have got a massive fear of snakes. And that's another area of where they think it possibly could come from, because internally we have a fear. Even if you like snakes, we have a kind of fear, or I suppose a little attachment that to be careful with this kind of animal.
Yeah. So you were saying about the early, how dragon was first came about in the Greek and all the rest of it, and how it was broken down in that sort of language. Yeah. In terms of the English language, it didn't actually originate until like it didn't come about in the English language till around 13th century. Yeah. And it came from like the old French myths at first. Okay. So it could be a case that it's travelled across Europe in that respect. Yeah. And then eventually got to England.
Well, originally, dragon actually meant a big animal.
Like a
big
beast,
monster.
A monster.
Yeah, some kind of monster. So originally everyone would be spreading that same word about. I mean, it was the sort of thing like colour. Everything was coloured red, but then somewhere along the line, a bit of red turned into orange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But orange originally was red.
Well, this is it. I mean, do you know the Harry Potter films where they had the really big snake in the basilisk or basilisk or something like that, right? So that's how in early stories of dragons, that's how they were described, like big snakes, almost serpent-like. Yeah. And apparently, obviously dragons have been visually represented in cultures around the globe. Oh, yeah. We were looking into it and trying to find examples of, early depictions of dragons. Yeah. And one of them we found was a case of a jade pendant that had been carved. And they reckon it's probably one of the earliest, but we think we've probably found maybe earlier in some Aboriginal wall art. Yeah. So do you want to tell us about that?
Well, yeah, it turns out, because I thought it would, because at first when I was looking into it, it went back 4,000 BC into the Sumerians and the Mayan area, because of that's as far back originally we actually know up to. But and then you've got like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years in between, where now you've got picture art in
like cave paintings and
so
stuff like that. So how far back are they being painted, Lucy, basically? Yeah,
Lucy is supposed to be 300,000 years old. The oldest one,
the oldest dragon,
the oldest ape we know of.
Right. So, Lucy, yes, yeah, the skeletal remains or the mummied remains or whatever. Yeah.
So if you, let's say, take 100,000 years off that, or 150, it doesn't really matter. Then I suppose you're talking around, about 100,000 years back, 100,000 years back. And that's a long time, you know what I mean?
Well, as you mentioned, dragons were very popular, and a very popular theme in some paintings, especially religious paintings, depicting knights battling dragons. The vanquishing of the beast, I suppose. And I mean,
and these pictures are storytelling at the end, because they do. If you look into most of these pictures, there are interpretations and.
Well, yeah, I mean, dragons appeared on jewellery, pieces of jade, carved jade, paintings, carved stone, decorative wall hangings, decorative garden pieces. Yeah. Dragons were big, still are. I mean, you can still go to some shops and see those little pewter dragons with a crystal set in it, for ridiculous prices.
Oh, yeah.
In a glass cabinet that no one's allowed to go open.
Or touch. Yeah, but there's a thing that in history, in ancient Greece, there was actually a lot of history talking about, and a lot of stories talking about dragons. But then when Rome comes along, it doesn't. Now, this puts it into possibly, is it politically...
politically charged, in the way that they don't want they. So in Greece, they've got
I'm scaring
sort
you
of
with this, and you scaring me with that.
I mean, quickly. I mean, I could get where you're saying with this, because with the Greek mythology, you get these sort of stories of the gods having worthy foes and big opponents, and it'll be what's big enough and worthy enough to fight Zeus or Hercules? It'd be like a dragon or a serpent or something, equally as powerful. So therefore, the myths and legends that come out of Greece are really quite... They've got lots of stories.
Yeah,
Do you know, they were very good at
substance.
telling stories and having a lot of substance and a lot of kind of, different stories about the same characters, if you like. They're almost like our modern equivalent of a Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, totally.
If you like. And when it gets to Rome, I can see where you're coming from, because they don't really want to... they're sort
the
of
most powerful. They have nothing that
their
can beat
sort
them.
of like image is nothing can defeat us.
Yeah.
So the idea of a dragon is kind of laughable. We don't
They're a little
promote.
bits, but less,
We
a
don't
lot
promote
less.
any of this.
Yeah.
Because we're the in charge, and we're the
We're the
dominant.
dragon at the end
We're
of the
the
day.
dragon. Exactly. Nicely put.
Yeah.
Going back onto the depictions. I found a website who say that, their earliest depiction or earliest example of a dragon is a C-shaped jade rock that has been carved in, and it's basically, it does look very dragony.
It does.
They basically say it's in the Hongshan culture, from Mongolia.
Okay.
Right, and this was somewhere between 3,000 and 4,500 BCE.
And look how flat their lands are.
What did you think you'd see a dragon coming, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I should imagine so.
So you can apparently see it. It's so like the dragon in China though is obviously used in Chinese art and all sorts, and it's basically used on everything.
Yeah,
even
and if you
into
need
the
help,
Beijing International Airport.
yeah, because
the logos,
dragon symbol as well is if you need help, you try, if you can find the dragon, and the dragon will help you.
If you need help and you can find them, maybe you should call the A-Team.
But also their heroes come from dragons. What is?
Well, that's why I think the Chinese like the British in a lot of ways, because we have that dragon culture where
we have.
Whereas they respect them, we kind of vanquish them. Do you know what I mean? We fight dragons. The dragon to us is something that we had to,
was evil.
slay.
Yeah,
but
that was only because of the church, and the church put the dragon as the devil or really evil, and that's why the stories turned against, mainly in mainly in Western Europe. That's why,
like I say, when them dragon stories have obviously come over from Europe and through France and over to England, the myth of St. George is an interesting one. He's obviously slayed the dragon in Wales.
He has.
Hello, boyos. I was just popping down to the shops and slay a dragon. So he's like, any dragons need slaying? Oh, no, maybe eat this cheese on toast first then. So, St. George, he's known and notorious for killing a dragon, and obviously we celebrate his valence and bravery.
Yes.
But obviously, the story of St. George was passed from crusaders who learned about him during the Middle Ages, and obviously it kind of got turned into a big thing. Basically, slayed the dragon, didn't he? But legends that St. George basically arrived in a village where a dragon was terrorizing the local people. To appease the dragon, the locals had begun sacrificing sheep, giving the dragon one a day.
Plenty of them.
Sling him a sheep.
He's me lover.
There you go. He's hungry again.
He is. He's hungry.
Oh, you send him another sheep. Oh, he's not happy with sheep. They weren't happy with sheep. So in dismay, they basically decided that they would try and sacrifice one of the children every day.
Yeah, because that was another that they
well, the thing is,
to come along with them, that they eat sheep.
Well, it ended up becoming like obsessed with women.
Yeah,
dragons for some reason. Dragons were all about taking young women into their nests.
I think that was a kind of power play from man to keep them in line.
Oh, right, I'll send you a gay dragon out.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, don't...
You leave here, Ralph.
Hey, don't be doing that. Or you'll be end up with a dragon.
I do think that's a kind of... It's been used as a kind of power play, as,
Well, they basically sacrifice children in a lottery, bit of Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's a bit...
So it'd be like...
It's a bit sick.
Right, put your hand in the hat. Then, get the game show music, brightly coloured jacket, get the kid line up, put your hand in the hat. Oh, you're a lucky winner, or you get to sit down. You're unlucky.
Yeah.
And
all the fathers on this. Why didn't they go?
Well, this is it. Yeah, because obviously this is a decree from the king. Yeah, so obviously the king's trying to keep his public safe, and
not safe enough.
They're not safe enough.
Army.
So, or whoever the landowner is, it might not necessarily be a king, but basically, well, maybe it was the king, but whoever it was, we'll call him a king.
Yeah.
The king then decided that obviously they'd have to sacrifice local children to keep the dragon at bay. So each day, the sacrifice would be chosen by a lottery, and the king's daughter was then selected in the lottery. Yeah.
Oh, naughty.
So the king was obviously very upset about this.
Yeah.
But just as she was being led down to the dragon's lair, George happened to wander past.
Just happened to wander past.
He was wandering by, whistling
along,
singing a merry tune.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Off to work today.
He was like, didn't know what today might hold. Definitely didn't think he would be slaying a dragon today.
Oh no, you wouldn't, would you?
He didn't even bring his kit.
Oh no, how the
right. But obviously, George happened to be horrified at what he discovered, and he basically offered to slay the dragon for free.
For free?
For gratis. Yeah. So he, during the battle, he noticed that this dragon had a vulnerable patch of skin under the arm.
You've always got to look for the vulnerable part.
So he's charged forward with his sword, and he plunged into the skin underneath the arm and slayed the dragon. The villagers held a huge feast in his honour, and ever since then, St. George has been celebrated every year as a tribute to the man's bravery. And that is the story. That's the story of St. George. What do you think of that? I mean, poor dragon.
Well, yeah. But I don't think we celebrate St. George
poor
Day
kids.
that much, to be honest.
We say poor dragon, poor kids, the poor sacrificed kids. King's fucking daughter manages to weave out of the way of that, though, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, but it reminds me
that one.
Over in Mexico with the tribes over there where they used to sacrifice for the sun god. But they also had to sacrifice for an actual dragon over there as well.
Okay.
It turned out.
I mean, there's plenty of other British dragon stories. I found this one, actually. The Dragon of Lockley Hill.
Oh, yeah, not far from there.
So, it's actually Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So it's not too far from us in Manchester. But, I mean, Yorkshire's got a lot of different urban legends, and this is a brilliant one. The Dragon of Lockley Hill is a tragic Yorkshire tale. So, the dragon... was supposed to be in a haunted woodland area, later known as Lockley Hills, and it was a parish of a stone grave, which is an area of Yorkshire.
Yeah.
As a dragon terrified the local villagers, a brave knight named Peter Lockley decided to kill that beast once and for all. He'd had enough.
Oh, yes.
So... wearing a special suit of armour.
Where from?
Yeah. I don't know where he got it from, but he must have made it himself. It was like cosplay king or something.
Well, yeah, you've always got
what he did was he got a load of razor blade style protrusions on his armour.
Okay.
Yeah. So he turned himself into a Mac 3. Yeah,
nice.
like by putting a load of razors on his armour. And then when the dragon got him and swooped round him and tried to squeeze him to death, it ended up getting some wounds, but the dragon regenerated and it was able to kind of heal quite quickly.
Yeah, because the armour on the dragon is tough.
But after some, battling, he did manage to slay the dragon, but he had his dogs with him. Yeah, right. So this is how he went out and found it. He was trying to track the dragon and then kill it. Yeah, for the locals.
Yeah.
So the dogs, and between him and the dogs, the dragon was taken down, and he was able to mortally wound it so much that it couldn't regenerate as fast, and it died. Right. So they've gone back to celebrate.
Yeah.
But the dog ended up getting dragon poisoned. Yeah, with dragon poison. I didn't even know this was the thing. I didn't know that dragon's blood was poisonous, or dragons could excrete poison, right?
Yeah,
but the dog was poisoned, and as Mr. Lockley tried to, help the dog, he ended up getting sick as well, and he died next to the dog. So it's tragic, but at least he did the job.
It's true. It's true.
Like normal contractors would be like, oh...
Yeah, that's That's a bit of a no-no.
It's not my sort of expertise.
Well, he did do it for free.
He did it for free. Yeah. But I thought it was
succeeded.
an innovative way of dragon slaying. But it's like I'm just gonna let it catch me and squeeze me to the point where it's just gonna kill itself.
Well, I've got one from Somalia that's similar to that.
Okay.
Which is the story of a dragon that tried to squeeze an elephant. And it did squeeze the elephant, so then it could take its blood. But then, as the elephant fell, and you know these elephants are big, it landed on the dragon and actually killed the dragon.
Right.
There's a story over there.
Right, one thing people might ask is, right, why are there no evidence of dragons? Yeah, I mean, we've talked about some of the myths and stuff, but basically, right, where's the evidence?
Well,
because, I mean, generally speaking, there's
not
any fossils. I mean, tales and legends, but like I said, these things come out of sparks of truth, generally speaking, and it makes me think,
places that were separated around the world as well.
You've got these sort of myths. You've not got myths. You've got evidence of dinosaurs, right? Yeah, and you've got an idea that a meteor struck the Earth and killed off most of the dinosaurs. And it wasn't just the meteor that killed him, it was the aftermath, it was everything that happened because the meteor hit. There was a change in the Earth's rotation, there was a ice age, there was volcanoes erupting and stuff. There'll be, imagine like slow moving animals that can't outrun, lava flows are pretty fucked. Yeah. But if you're a flying animal or a swimming animal, you've got a bit of a better chance. Well, no, but I mean, a flying animal's got a better chance of survival than a land mammal that can't move as fast and is going to get kind of swallowed up by certain threats. Yeah, I'm not saying every threat. Yeah. But what I'm getting at is a flying animal, a flying dinosaur, is able to. It's got a slightly significant survival rate compared to a land animal. And if it's able to fly away from danger, it ups its odds of surviving. So I'd say that the flying sort of dinosaur, reptiles / animals that are dinosaurs that were around potentially were able to survive to an extent where they were able to adapt and become what we'd see as a dragon at a point where humanity was even up to the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages and stuff. I mean, these stories globally, depictions of an animal that is seen
once
globally
did actually
exactly.
Sort of
I mean,
exist,
could
but
they
we didn't really know.
And I mean, the idea that I seen something in an interview on a Joe Rogan interview on YouTube where it was basically talking about dinosaurs versus dragons and why we don't find evidence of them, and they were basically saying it was because, like birds, dragons have sort of hollow bones, so when they come to fossilize, they just break apart and you don't get a good fossil. Therefore there's no fossil evidence for dragons.
But there's plenty of places where they could have died, like swamps and stuff like that, where actually the mud and that around.
Oh yeah, totally agree. I mean, we find one yet. I mean, there's no saying that they're not existent, or we might never find one, but we could.
Well, yeah, and we couldn't say in full terms that anything like this couldn't exist in this world, because obviously we did because of the dinosaurs. Yeah. Unless that kind of
going back
wrong.
In terms of evidence, there's no physical evidence, but there's a lot of kind of cultural evidence and a lot of like scripture and, like you say, paintings and depictions. The Bible actually mentions dragons in the book of Revelation, chapter 12 to 14, where it says it's seen as a devil, and King James translation of the Bible actually mentions a dragon at least 35 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in Indian.
Is this
religion.
A thing that existed?
It's
maybe
in loads of religions, and like depending on which side of the world you're living on. If you're on the eastern side, then it'd be like all glory to it. If you're on the
because
Western,
like you said
or
earlier, I
kill
mean,
it.
the Chinese believe that it has, power and strength and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Emperors believed it to be the descendant of a dragon, the Emperor of China.
Yeah.
He's a descendant of a dragon.
And supposedly, Ragnarok is supposed to be a true story of Thor actually sending
is this
down.
going back to like the ancient mythology and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Thor. I mean, like the story of Ragnarok is obviously the end of days, or end of all things in
the beginning of the end
in the Norse culture.
That's right.
So, I mean, was that supposedly a dragon that's supposed to have brought that on? Are you saying?
It's supposed to be that he'd put a sheep's head on a hook, threw it into the water for this sea beast of a dragon. They fought and he won. But when it comes again, if it opens its tail, whacks its tail, then that's Ragnarok, and that's the beginning of the end of Earth, I suppose.
Okay.
That's one of the stories, but there's loads. There's like there's one in I can't even say the name. The island in the Pacific. What's it called now?
Go on.
The one with the shaky girls.
Hawaii.
That's it, Hawaii. Yeah, I just forgot that name. Hawaii is supposed to be a
Hawaii.
A dragon that was supposed to have actually gone on land there and changed the weather and done stuff like that, coming in to attack villages.
Okay. I'm just looking here to see if there was actually any skeletal remains ever found of dragons.
I don't think there is,
Well, maybe.
So.
I mean, have you got anything else you want to talk about? Anything else dragon related while I'm just searching here?
Egypt with Ra, which day and night they fought a dragon to actually beast it back so they could have the day again.
Right, okay.
It's been as far back as Babylonia, Egypt, China, Aztecs, Japan. There's so many countries. In Britain, there's so many countries that have this. But the thing for me is the fire.
the breathing of the fire.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit kind of embellished potentially. I mean, these creatures might have existed, but not in the sense that are as spectacular as it. Or maybe they were.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just going in. I've just had a look for see if I could find anything, and the closest thing I could find was a gigantic, 180 million year old fossil of a sea dragon was found by UK researchers.
Oh, right, okay.
And, I mean, it's a sea dragon, so, I mean, it's a sea creature of some description. Not the conventional dragon, flying through the air.
Yeah, the one that everyone predicts.
Like Game of Thrones style, anything like that.
I mean, like the bones you were talking about before, about finding fossils. I mean, if you think about it, if you found these fossils when, speech wasn't around and you, try and put these kind of things together, you could come up with a creation of a dragon, with maybe the big scales that you'd find on top of a big dinosaur, and they may have thought, well, that could be just one scale to it, so it is massive. I don't know where it comes from, about breathing fire, apart from the art and that, and spaceships.
It's just kind of a way of making it sound worse than it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of these have come from campfires as well, and in blemished. And don't forget, everything when we learnt language, we story told around campfires, and then you're telling 10 people.
Talking of storytelling, right? Yeah. Who's your favourite fictional dragon?
What? That's it. Jeez.
You've got Schmorg from J.R.R. Tolkien's classic novel, The Hobbit.
Nah.
You've got Falkor, although there is some argument to whether to say Falkor from the Neverending Story is actually a dragon or not.
I would reckon that they would, in the past, they would predict
He looks like a dog.
dragon.
He looks like a big dog.
Hairy dog as well.
A big flying hairy dog.
Where's his scales?
Ooh, he just lies there, all judgmental. But
Yeah. I fly you here.
I kind of liked Falco, but Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon?
Yeah, Pete had a dragon. It was a Disney cartoon movie. It
Dragon-
was
Dungeons and Dragons?
actually groundbreaking in the sense that it was a cartoon, live action hybrid.
See, and that's the thing,
It
because
was a great movie, and it was an animated dragon, and Pete was live action, and awesome for the day.
That kind of story, this is the thing that, I mean, the stories have been way, way back to how we couldn't even think about, but like, them stories still carry on today, as in like movies,
of course,
cartoons, like, you know, and there's a lot to say that for some reason dragons keep and stay in here, if you know what I mean, like
stay in the hearts and minds of it is one of those things, but I mean in the same respect, so do vampires and werewolves, you know. I mean,
but a lot of stories
they're in the culture of
but they go away.
No,
because they've never been that far back, if you know what I mean.
Well, vampires
you have a certain
sense,
term,
but like, you know, I do get where you're coming from. Dragons have outlasted or been around a hell of a lot longer
than anything else.
So this is what makes me think that there is a root in truth with dragons, because I mean, you do put them in the category of pixies and fairies and all the rest of it, but I mean, let's face it, a fairy, you could be walking through the woods and get a glint through the trees, or see a bit of a shimmer or a trickle of light and go, oh, I think I saw a fairy, but probably not. Yeah. You see a fucking dragon in the sky, you know you've seen a dragon in the sky, right? There's no kind of question in it. If a dragon swoops down, it's brown trousers time.
It is.
And I don't give a shit. It's not a trick of no light. Right? So I don't see how you can kind of make, you know... it's not something like, oh, I'm just seeing things. It's too big. Yeah.
But would you think there'd be one that lasts till now?
Would you think that these dragons now, you mean?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Could there be potentially?
Who knows? I'd like to think that all species of life has a chance of being able to keep going. And
there's a lot that we've said that have gone and they've actually come back.
And as Dr. Malcolm says, life will find a way.
Yeah.
If there are dragons... somewhere, I mean, it's much likely that there is a dragon than there is Bigfoot. It's the same odds, in my opinion. And it's a big old planet, and they could be hiding somewhere. So
true. But I think more than likely it's the alien route to me.
Oh, go on, right? So you've got an alien. He's got an alien hypothesis, guys. So you're right. Come on, you tell us. Personally, I'm interested to hear where you're going to go with this.
Right. Well. Right, Vikings used to call their long ships drachna. Right, now drachmas are supposed to be a species of.
They did actually put a dragon on the front of those boats as well a lot of the time, didn't they? Yeah,
the enemy. Now Anunnaki, it all goes back. They actually show the dragons in picture art and in name in the Anunnaki scriptures, in the Sumerian scriptures, should I say.
Did they ride them? Was it kind of like
different sizes?
Avatar?
Different sizes plus
saddling them up.
Well, no. Apparently, we all come from the Almighty God, which was a lizard woman. The Almighty.
They did then.
Well, there's a bit spread somewhere.
Oh, I was just playing, but like that scene in Avatar when he, because I find that weird that the thing that he plugs into the woman to have like intimate relations with is the thing that he plugs into his dragon to fly it. Yeah. That's a bit weird. Yeah, right.
Bit too time in there.
I was just playing, but when you've just said that everyone originates from a big lizard woman, then that obviously means he did do it.
Well, look at it, the brain. Look at the lizard brain thing.
Yeah,
and look
they say
at lizard
that there is
people.
a part of your brain that is like DNA, lizard DNA.
Look at the stuff that we've done on lizard people as well. In the like LA, like the tunnels under there. That there was an issue. That people when they're going down. Well, just a little bit.
It's like who they reporting these issues to. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, who's to say? I mean, the oxygen level in dinosaur time was around about 60%. It's 22% now.
Well, that's what I
and going
mean.
even
Like,
less.
you know,
So
if
it
these
goes down to
bird
size.
type, if these bird type pterodactyl style dinosaurs
Still live, they'd be smaller.
tried to survive the apocalypse, essentially, were able to fly to safety enough that they were able to kind of outrun the apocalypse
and keep a breeding program going on, and then just getting smaller and
just
smaller
and smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
which could
like
put
we
it down
saying
to lizard people.
About Joe Rogan, the guest he had on, he was talking about how light birds are when they land on you. So, like an eagle, it's pretty big, but the weight of it compared to another animal of its size is quite, it's a very light animal, but it's got hollow bones.
Yeah.
So, they're trying to say that was why, there was no evidence in terms of, like, dragon bones anywhere.
Well, there's time to
and
tell,
plus, witches, as we all know, use dragon bones in potions. So they've probably just looted them all.
We guaranteed we do have witches. We have white witches.
Yes, there are witches, and they're all using the dragon bones. So
where are they getting them from?
Well, they found them somewhere. They know, and they've looted. That's what I'm saying. They've looted the dragon bones, stockpiled.
Yeah.
As soon as the dragon went down, they were like, "Get in, girls. We need these bones."
I think we need to get into business into dragon bones.
Dragon bones and rhino.
Rhinos. Leave alone.
No, that rhino. I was going to say, because that weren't the powdered rhino horn thing. I was going to just make a joke, but then I was like, "Nah, leave the rhinos alone." What have the rhinos ever done?
Exactly. They need to survive, man. They need to survive. Same with elephants. They reckon within 7 years, elephants are gone.
Well, horns and stuff. I mean, is a rhino a descendant of a dragon?
Yeah, and there's a lot of elephants as well, and rhinos.
We've got some interesting.
No
we've got sort of horny rhinos. Yeah. We've got some interesting animal stories coming up in the news.
We
actually,
have indeed.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Have we run out of dragon facts?
What? No, I've got one for you.
I've got a couple. Go on.
Treasure.
Yeah, they do like to steal treasure and sit on gold, apparently.
And it's a good idea to tell, the villagers when you're hiding out with a load of treasure that there's a monster down there, gets fire, it does this, it does that, don't go near it. Then you're less likely, back then, you would less likely have gone down there, unless you're a warrior.
Yeah, true. Well, here's an interesting dragon fact for you before we move on. In many stories, dragon blood is often has magical properties, but as we know from the other story from Yorkshire, it killed a man and his dog.
It did, yeah.
It's not magic, that's deadly.
Well, it depends on which kind of dragon, though, innit, really? Because there's so many different kind of species. I mean, from like no legs to all legs, 2 heads, 5 heads, 2 tails, 5 tails.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, there's totally loads of different types of dragons, isn't there? I mean, in terms of Harry Potter, do you know when he's in the Goblet of Fire?
Oh yeah.
These are they bring out a load of dragons, and they use like a couple of different ones, and like they're from different regions. So like a Hungarian horntail or something like that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Like How to Train My Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, that's
why I was saying, a bit of a dragon trainer.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what do you guys think? Have you got a fresh opinion, a fresh outlook on dragons?
Have you seen one?
Have you ever seen a dragon? Where do you think they come from? Do you think they're real? We want all the questions. Answer the questions. Tell us what you guys think. Send us an email or drop us a comment on any of the platforms. We'd love to hear from you.
Is it right or wrong?
Well, you're wrong.
I'm always
just wrong in the head.
Well, you know me.
We got actually, in terms of dragon facts, there's quite a lot. I mean,
there's quite a lot of stories.
Are they facts?
Quite a lot. Yeah, well, this is the thing, but they will be. Guaranteed where these stories there will be a little bit of fact in there.
Well, in mythology, female dragons are called Dracana.
Oh, right.
Which is the feminine form of ancient Greek word for dragon.
I thought a lot of them were female. There were only a couple of males.
Yeah, there you go. Well, moving on. I think we might have a promo for you, and here it is.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carol Ann.
And I'm Matt. And we are the hosts of Boozed and Confused.
Boozed and Confused dives into the weird topics that you never knew existed.
Join us every Monday to drink and discuss all things unknown, unexpected, otherworldly, and just plain strange.
Each week, we will take you on a journey to learn about things like time travel and who John Teeter is.
Weird history like the New England vampire panic.
Conspiracy theories like Katy Perry being John Benet Ramsey, or aliens.
Or the paranormal, like ghosts that haunt the White House.
Listen to Boosed and Confused every Monday wherever you get your podcasts.
See you then.
Well, thank you for sending in your promo. And if you want to do the same, you can totally do it. Send us an email. All you got to do is just drop us your promo in an email to neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. And we could be featuring you on the show.
Oh, yes, you
Happy days.
guest.
Happy days are here again. And it is now officially British summertime.
It is.
It's not. It's still spring. I mean, we've not even had Easter yet, but in technical terms, we are in British summertime. We lost an hour last week. It was like, wow, 6 o'clock in the morning we got finished recording.
Yeah.
But we do it for you guys. It's early now, you know.
It is.
But
After.
it's good stuff. Well, we've got some news for you, as always. And without further ado, we best be getting on with that.
Oh, yes.
It's a news! It is indeed, and we've scoured the World Wide Web trying to find the best news and stuff. You were just saying that the new music in the background reminds you of Miami Vice.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. It's quite cool, though.
Yeah,
I like it.
Back,
Sounds like it feels like I'm in an 80s sci-fi movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a Tron bike's going to whiz past me at any moment.
Oh, yeah, please.
So news-wise, have you had anything that you've seen that you were found quite interesting this week?
Yes, I have. And I will first go to Elon Musk.
Is this not a NASA story, or is it?
No.
Go on. All right, Elon, what's he been doing, Mr. Musk?
He's been putting out tweets.
The Techno King.
Yeah, Techno King's been putting out tweets to try and find out if people interested in having a sort of new Twitter or a new kind of system where actually freedom of speech actually counts.
Yeah, but didn't Donald Trump pitch this exact same idea recently? He said, I'm going to make my own Twitter. I'm going to make my own Facebook where I can say what I like. And nobody cared.
Apparently, there's been loads of legal angles on it as well.
So what we said, he's probably rang Elon and said, people like you, Elon. Will you do this for me? No one's buying it, mate. All I need is a face of you, Mr. Musk. And the Musk of Musk.
But who else is going to fit the profile?
The smelly Musk of Musk. They need to launch this ship.
Yeah.
And he went, do you know what? I'm not a Trump fan generally, but how much you pay? Yeah, I'm a Trump fan now. Yeah, and he's probably done that. I don't know, but it just seems a bit coincidental.
Maybe, he's asking the question. He's thinking about doing something.
Heard Trump say that and thought, man, that's not a bad idea. I might get my hat in that arena.
Or he's looked at all the others and gone, you know what? Something needs sorting out here, and we need to do it good and proper instead of fucking about.
Well, it does give the power to the people, the tech companies who own these platforms, because they can choose what's sensitive and not, or what's not. Totally. Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen out?
Lots of things. I've got a lot of animal stories. I like starting the news with animal stories because they make me smile.
Yeah.
Well, this first one, right, it's a story about a woman who, she basically took a job in Guyana, right, from London. She relocated.
Oh, nice.
And when she went there, she was walking through the tall grasses and she found a little injured bird, right, and she had it living in her hair for 85 days.
85 days?
It lived with her. It flew by her. It was like a Disney movie in real life. It was like, seriously, the bird became her best friend.
So it was connected then.
And they had he basically acted as if it was the mother, and followed her around, wouldn't leave her side, basically.
And really, she'd only just arrived there, and she's been from London, so she hasn't got that, she hasn't got that experience of how to deal with nature.
Well, I mean, it's a little bird, local birds. You know, there's quite a lot of them around.
But you won't get them around there, would you? You know what I mean? Get a picture on your shoulder.
Apparently, like its nest had been blown out of a tree.
Okay.
So it had been injured. So she looked after it, and for like 85 days, it nested in her hair.
Why her hair? Oh, she could.
She had long hair.
Putting it in the nest, so it would
It's like,
understand.
got in her hair and I like it in here, I'm chilling.
Now that's closeness.
That is close, that isn't
Yeah.
it? But yeah, I find it's like a real life, Cinderella or whatever.
Yeah, I bet she had to be careful though wherever she was moving. Like, oh well, I can't push my head that way. I can't wash my hair today.
Well,
I've got someone living there.
Speaking of birds, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got another link. Segway story. And it's about a flamingo.
All right. Okay.
So this is a story of a flamingo that escaped Kansas Zoo in 2005.
All right. Was it being tortured for information?
This basically, it's been spotted in Texas.
It's been spotted.
So how far is Kansas to Texas?
A lot of miles, I should imagine.
I think it should be quite a way. But yeah, one of 2 flamingos that escaped from Kansas Zoo during a storm 17 years ago
17
has been
years
spotted
ago?
off the coast of Texas, wildlife officials said. I'm assuming it's been tagged.
Yeah,
or
how would you
geotagged or
know?
something, because like they go, oh, it's pinged up on our machine.
Yeah, it's over there. It's just flew by or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be.
But the bird and another flamingo escaped the Sedgwick County Zoo
They like losing
in
their
Wichita
flamingos.
on a stormy night back in 2005. Employees had not yet, clipped the bird's wings to prevent it from flying off, which meant that it had an easy escape. Whilst other flamingos were never seen again.
Yeah.
The number 492 has been spotted several times.
Well, then they
must
should be
have.
out there.
Well, they've got it. I think they must have it numbered and registered, but they didn't. Like
And
they said, they
krill
can't
eaters.
get it. They didn't get a chance to clip its wings.
They're krill eaters, so why don't you go to the nearest area where krill are being grown?
I don't
know.
know.
Because that's how it gets its pigmentation.
Yeah, totally.
So why don't they just set up? Because there's not going to be a lot of places there that have it.
Well, they're not native, and basically, originally they were brought in from Africa, shipped to Kansas Zoo.
Yeah.
So obviously, they're not local to Kansas, and whether there's stuff there for them to eat, or they were obviously surviving.
Yeah, there must be
17
something,
years.
Yeah.
But it was brought over with 39 other flamingos.
Is it saying one?
Consignment of flamingos here for you, mate. Do you want to just sign it? Hang on, there's only 38.
But then it's not going to be that long till, I don't know how long flamingos live, but after 17 years and then probably been living for 2, 3, maybe 4 years in Africa.
Love a bit of wildlife, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a story here about an American buffalo as well that's roaming the streets of Chicago suburbs.
The animals attacked.
Taking over, man.
Yeah,
They're roaming the streets. I love that when
Sheep
the
last year.
lockdown happened and all the animals were just like, where are all the humans?
Sheep were
roaming
nutters,
into the
man.
streets. It was brilliant.
mad.
So yeah, anything else you want to talk about this week?
Yes, actually talking about fields and animals and stuff. Bill Gates. He's,
because that connects really nicely, doesn't it?
It does, and this is why, because Bill Gates is now asking the rich nations they should move to 100% soya, beef, and GMOs.
Soya, beef, and GMOs. So we're allowed to eat beef. They're saying they're allowed to eat beef. Or are you saying soya beef?
Soya beef.
Well, what's that?
That's basically plant beef.
You're growing cow plants.
You're growing plants to have the same
nutritional value as beef.
All that, yeah.
Nah, soy that they're basically putting that other chemicals in to make it taste like and be like beef. That's not right.
Well, yeah, but the reason why he's doing
GMOs.
it is he's trying to. Yeah, he's got big investment in GMOs. He's got massive investment in soya beef, and he owns most the biggest farms in America. So he's already got his plan ahead on what he's doing when the computers go down.
Yeah, fair enough. Computers,
yeah.
I mean, it's like, do you think they'll go down at any point? I mean,
It will at one point or another, guaranteed that it will go down.
Well, it's inevitable that something like, if it can happen, it will, won't it? I mean, there's a lot of kind of trolling and stuff like, with talking about computers, but using cyber warfare on the Russians. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I found this story about the FBI trolling the Russian embassy. basically, because obviously they've got spies and government workers who work at the embassy.
Yeah.
So they've basically been sending out targeted spam to them that have been basically saying, "Are you tired of your job at the Kremlin? Do you want to come and work for us?" Sort of thing.
Why not? Yeah.
They said it was a brilliant recruiting strategy because they think that probably there'll be a lot of folks there at the Russian government that would be incredibly dissatisfied with Putin's war.
Yeah. At
It's
least
like,
30%.
oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like you might be a government worker, but you might not actually agree with what's going on. You're just thinking, shit, I just got to go along with it because I don't want to lose my job.
I've heard soldiers have sabotaged their own equipment and stuff like this.
So they
Russia.
can't. Well, we've talked about that in the past about in other wars where people have been sent in. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10 they fire over the heads because they don't want to really kill anyone. It was just like literally all new recruits were shooting above the
kids
target.
With bullets, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't want to fight. So but obviously with these people being dissatisfied, maybe it is pretty funny that they're targeting them with coming recruitment drives.
Yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
a recruitment drive going on, isn't there? So it's like
it's Operation Paperclip Part 2.
Yeah,
but the paperclip's the one off the Word. It's like, obviously, do you know? Remember when you get the little paperclip on Microsoft Word?
Yeah,
it'll be that one, and it'll just keep going. Hey, do you need any help with that? Every 5 minutes, and it's like, no, we are scientists.
It was a pain in the arse, but it was kind of useful as well sometimes. When you needed it, not when every fucking 5 minutes.
It pissed me off. Anyway, anything else you've seen? I found a couple of really interesting ones.
I've got a small one here about the Conservative government for Britain, where it's looking like, and that Boris Johnson is looking to try and get rid of the old poll tax, which is council tax. I don't know how he's going to do it.
They put it in the first place.
Well, yeah, because it was poll tax. We tried to fight them against it. They cancelled
it and called it council tax instead.
And giving it as anyway. And now they've been reliant, and especially councils are reliant on it. What's going to happen when no one pays? And it's if that isn't going to be the thing, they're looking at possibly reducing it by about half to try and get through this problem that we've got at the minute with financial issues coming up, especially after April 1st, you know what I mean? It's like gas, water's coming in as well. There's another story.
Yeah, there's a lot of price hikes at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of companies who are doing this, lock your price for 12 months. I think that's why they've been inundated with meter readings and stuff like that recently because, obviously there's a lot of people who are trying to change providers to get on one of these
cheaper versions,
cheaper
well, a lot of them
locked in rates. But then again, that's not to say that in 12 months' time it's not going to go up again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's one of those. I mean, are you happy locking yourself in just for 12 months, or is it just a case of that you've got no choice at the moment?
Well, it's all about choices, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of people coming off the road now because they can't afford it, and especially with what's coming in now. The
roads do seem a lot quieter.
They do. I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest, myself. When I'm a driver, I like it.
Yeah, totally.
I like it, but I've got another story about which to do with politics over here a little bit as well, because water companies have been pouring sewage into our waters 372,000 times last year, which works out to be 1,000 times a day. That's 2.7 million hours.
And who's doing this?
Shit.
Who's doing this though? Because it's
water companies.
Well, that's not the government, is it? It's like
no,
but the government's allowing them to do this. They're not giving them they're not giving them fines for doing it and telling them they need to clean up their act. Well, and especially in a government that's saying that they're thriving on, they're trying to push for a greener Britain and stuff. You can't be going and polluting waterways with shit. No, basically,
because we had a story about a couple of months back where it was about all the rivers are polluted and all that. But what the government has turned around and said is they have to clean it by 2040, which is too long for
Yeah,
one.
2040 is like a long time.
And you will, by 2025, we will be paying significantly a little bit more than what we'd be paying for water. Now, even though, as of yesterday, we are going to be paying more on water as well. I think it's an extra £7, something like that. But everything's adding up, like an extra £223 for driving has been added on. Then you've got the 700 to possibly going up to 1,000 in October on the gas. And then,
Don't depress us or anything, do you know what I mean?
Well,
But,
hopefully the government are going to bring something along. I mean, if they get rid of council tax, that's one good area where it will help a lot of people, but it won't help enough. So they're going to have to add extra stuff, because on top of your national insurance has gone up as well. We can earn a little bit more, £70 more this year, so we don't have to, until we can get taxed. Because it's gone up now to 12,570 now. It's like, why add it more?
See, yeah.
Well, they're going to get more tax through that now.
Yeah, but it's just boring, isn't it?
It is.
It's like, fucking hell, man. But they don't help people.
They don't.
I mean,
they're supposed to.
I did see a woman who was kind of like, she put it really well, and she approached, Red Sunak?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who does the budget.
Yeah, the exchequer.
And she explained to him that she's got to work extra jobs and she's food banking it and all the rest of it, and she still can't afford to eat herself, but because she's got to feed the kids. And he just comes out with like, oh yeah, I've got 2 kids myself. And it's like, no, your wife's a millionaire and you've got a nanny. How is it the same? Do you know what I mean? You're on a wedge yourself, mate.
Yeah.
Like as an MP. You can't tell us it's the same, or you understand you don't understand, and you never will.
Exactly. They think we're making money like they're making money, and we're nowhere fucking
they just don't get it. It's a totally different way of life, and it's like at the end of the day, when people are struggling and they just keep going,
food banks.
It's we're in a bit of hardship, and it's like, well, we've been in hardship now for about 10 years
since 2008.
So we need to be
40% off everything.
I say it's a lighter-hearted story.
Yeah.
But this is a story of a solid chocolate bunny. Yeah.
Oh,
Easter is on its way, but
is.
it's a solid chocolate bunny that was used as a weapon to assault a store clerk.
What?
They make them.
They're I'm
assuming this is
anything.
America, because obviously chocolate bunnies we get over here are hollow. You hit someone with a chocolate bunny over here, they just look at you and go, "What?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's got a lot of air in the middle.
There's nothing.
But yeah, I mean, this was a police station in Brandon that said that it's no joke. A 27-year-old man has been assaulted.
No yoke.
And a 27-year-old man has been accused of stealing from a business and assaulting an employee there with a chocolate bunny.
Oh, that's wrong, man.
So officers were called on Thursday afternoon as the man stole merchandise from the business on Victoria Avenue near 34th Street in southwestern Manitoba City. Oh. Yeah, so on Friday, a news release said that the employee who was confronted with a shoplifter was hit with a chocolate bunny and suffered some minor injuries. The accused suspect ran away, but was found and arrested nearby. He still had the merchandise on him.
He didn't eat it.
Yeah, but he's been basically had to go to court and asked to pay back $5,000, I think, in stolen goods. Yeah,
$5,000 in stolen goods.
It must have been like it. No, we used the bunny as a weapon. He never used. We might have stolen loads of stuff over time.
Well, but then you wouldn't have let him in and served him again and again.
When he's not been served, he's just going in and stealing. By the sounds of it, the guy's tried to confront him.
Bit dodgy with,
and he got assaulted with a chocolate rabbit.
Oh yeah, true.
So there you go.
Well, it could have been worse.
Yeah, I don't know how. But
pistol,
I mean, it could have been a chocolate. A fucking chocolate lion.
Oh, he could have had a knife in it. It could have.
Funny actually.
Items.
Talking of lions.
A lion bar.
I like a lion bar actually, but like scientists have given lions. Yeah, check this out.
Oh yeah.
A dose of the love hormone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oxytocin is it?
Calming down, yeah.
To see what the impact would be on the apex predators sex appeal.
To see what the impact would be.
Sexy time.
A lot of shagging and you saying, no.
It's like fucking what? You know, it's bad enough when dogs try and hump your leg and you get a tiger going, hey.
Yeah.
You smell good.
Yeah,
so basically, this oxytocin, is a hormone that humans have.
Yes, it is.
It's associated with childbirth, bonding, and breastfeeding. So animals generally
like that bird and that woman.
What? Yeah, a bonding thing. Yeah, totally. So they say that it has a big part to play in social bonding, right? So, for example, a research published in 2017. Yeah, I don't know. I said that really weird.
What? Do you go and hug a lion or something?
2017 showed they injected this hormone into seals.
Okay.
Yeah, because seals are normally a bit vicious towards each other.
Yeah, that's
You've seen them on the documentaries.
Yeah.
They're always fucking jumping on each other like. Yeah. But this hormone has actually made them more friendlier towards each other. So the logic behind the lion numbers is because of like numbers are currently plummeting. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So they want to make lions more loved up so it's summer of love for lions basically. It's summer of 69, free drugs. Fuck all the lions you want to fuck.
If it's solely
for
that,
some Jimi Hendrix playing in the background
and not for
lion
other
stock.
scientific purposes, then I'm all for that. But
well, they reckon there's an estimated 20,000 lions worldwide left.
Yeah, not
lions are hunted by humans and attacked by other things, I suppose, and obviously attack livestock.
Tigers as well, and there's so many animals.
So obviously, trying to get the numbers up.
Give
them some sexy time, Viagra love.
Oh yeah.
God knows what it is.
I suppose we did when we was indoors.
What? Give him some time off.
Give him some
from
time
stop
off.
shooting the lions.
Yeah.
Nah. Do you know what though? Because do you know what the logic would have been there? Well, I'm isolating. I'm on my own. I'm out in the wilderness shooting lions. I'm not anywhere near anyone spreading the virus, so leave me alone. I'm shooting lions, and that's trophies. I don't get anything like that. I mean, if you're a hunter,
is it a dentist? That dentist.
If you're a hunter, I mean, I'd like to hear from you. What's your logic behind it? Is it a trophy thing, or is it keeping the numbers down, or is it like a cull?
Well, it's sort of.
Do you only?
Is it an ethical hunt or not?
Yeah. Do you hunt because it's hunting season and you're trying to keep numbers up or down? Do you know? I don't get it. I mean, the thing over here with hunting is just a bit barbaric because it's like on horseback.
I don't think we need it.
You don't have a chance. Really,
I don't think we really need it.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's not necessary.
No.
So anything else you've seen? I've got some more NASA news.
Amazon, New York.
Yeah.
And their staff.
Right, so New York branch of Amazon.
Yeah. Their staff took Amazon to court because they wanted to build a union. So the staff actually get to say what goes on and, help with pay and stuff like that.
To be honest, it's a big enough organisation that they kind of need one, don't they? They've got that many staff to represent.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Bezos and his firm will probably argue that they've got a great HR department that are really happy to help. Oh. And a lot of helpline numbers that they can call if they ever get stressed or depressed.
Well, he's actually... they won in court yesterday, basically, the staff members. And if you want... people should go and try and watch it because it comes across as, for like everything, like it's about time that the people took their power back that had been taken away.
We're going to take over Amazon. We're going to revolution. We're taking the power back.
It sort of is. So 55% of the workers voted to actually have a union. Went through court. They won. Other unions, other people around the country are trying to do it as well. But Jeff Bezos has said that he may not apply it. There are certain.
I bet if they said he could go to space, they would. I bet if they said we'll give you a contract with NASA, they would. I bet he'd give him a union straight away. If NASA went, we'll let you go to space, Jeff.
Yeah, but then I don't want him to.
You look after your employees a bit better.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to look after his own shit and, sort his own business out properly.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I've never worked for Amazon, so
I refuse to.
So, I mean, if you work for them and you've had a positive experience, then, you let us know.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
But there's been a lot of...
I always find big faceless corporations like that are a bit like...
There's been millionaires.
I mean, sure, they're offering jobs and they do great things for the economy in a lot of ways, but they make a lot of profits as well that they generally keep.
Yeah, and this is where, a couple of months ago, about 5-6 months ago, there was literally millionaires outside his yard protesting about how much their staff are getting paid.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of millionaires protesting about a lot of things recently.
And I think it's about time, I think it's a multi-billionaires that should actually be coming out and
It's true, actually, because they're going well, we know we've got millions, but
you're taking it away from me.
From us. It's
And if I'm getting a bit poorer, a lot, 99% of the rest of the world are getting fucked.
Well... have you got any more news before we move on to NASA?
I know I got NASA only now.
Right, well, I found this story about a bizarre alien creature that washed up on the shores of Australia on a beach. It's baffled the internet, apparently.
It's baffled the internet?
Yeah, so a bizarre alien-like sea creature that's washed up on the Australian coast has baffled the internet. Alex Tan from Queensland, Australia, was walking on... Oh, this is going to be a good one. Maroochydore Beach.
What was that?
It's spelled Maroochydore Beach. Maroochydore. I can't even say it twice.
Maroochydore Beach.
Yeah, something like that. On the Sunshine Coast, when he came across a bizarre creature. In the video that is available on YouTube, you can find it. I'll try and post it.
Yeah.
Of the discoverer, Tan says he stumbled across something weird. It was one of those things that people claim they found an alien, but he thinks he genuinely thought he did.
So they've actually come to a conclusion?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think so. At first he thought the creature he thought it was a dog laid down, and however he looked closer and realised it was something much stranger. The picture of the creature began circulating the internet, and many people were speculating on what it was. It is weird. It's pretty kind of gross.
I must admit, there's a lot of things coming out of the deep sea, never mind the light sea.
Out of the oceans.
Yeah.
But like I was saying a couple of weeks ago about when stuff like volcanoes going off underneath the ocean, and other things are shifting. Then no wonder boats are coming to the surface from decades of years ago, sank, lost. Treasure galleons and whatever are re-emerging, and bits and things are washing up on the beaches.
Yeah, so some disasters aren't.
Is it a case of that these things were trapped or have now been kind of released and
I think
now
the
washing
soil
up?
has been moved off them a little bit so it can be, shimmied.
Tan's done radio interviews and stuff trying to work out what it is. But so far, the experts claim that it could be a possum. Or some sort of tree kangaroo.
Another possum.
Yeah. It's always possums, isn't it? They always blame the fucking possums.
I know. They're doing a lot of swimming lately,
they're doing a lot of alien lookalikes.
Yeah.
They could get jobs as alien lookalikes, apparently.
It must be. It must be hard in the the wild now.
Yeah, man.
They're all coming into the cities now.
So they are. Well, as all those animal stories at the beginning suggested.
I saw a fox on work night and not that long ago. Coming across, I
used to see him all the time.
Yeah.
Jess from Not So Minnesota Nice.
Yeah.
Came over to London.
Jess.
Hi, Jess. She came over to London. And she was like, I'm going out to look for foxes. And I was like, you'll probably see one.
Yeah, guaranteed.
And she didn't see one.
You're joking.
And I was like, it depends what time you go out, and especially in the heart of London where you're staying.
Yeah.
Perhaps, the owners of the hotel where she was staying might have said, you might see a fox.
Yeah, she probably did, but she didn't see it.
Generally, I used to see him running. I used to cycle up this road and they'd be running by me. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And foxes would be running by me while I was cycling, so it was like you do see them.
Sort of like the stray dogs now.
I see rabbits a lot as well, like bunnies, quite a lot. Especially when you There was an island actually in Manchester towards the Trafford Centre.
Yeah.
And as you're going up Barton Bridge, and you'll have the Trafford Centre on your right. But there's this roundabout before you get to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah. And we used to call it Bunny Island because it was basically just filled with bunnies. There was just loads of bunnies living on it.
Yeah, I've heard about
I mean,
this,
it's sad
yeah.
though in one respect because it's like, this is how far we've pushed nature to the point where they
need to come in.
They can't find anywhere else to live but a traffic island.
We are destructive.
It's crazy,
kind of species, though.
Well,
we don't think of the consequences.
We need to anyway.
Okay.
Have you found any more NASA news? I've got a couple more stories.
I have, and NASA has announced that they know exactly how old the Milky Way is.
Oh, so we're gonna get a cake and a candle.
Nice
so we need a card.
Yeah.
We're having a party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope we do. I won't be invited. Using stars as a clock, they've worked out that just 8 million years after the Big Bang, we were created.
8 million years, that all?
But Earth was created 4 billion years after that.
Right, so the Earth's only half as old as the rest of the universe.
Yeah, well, yeah, but 8 million years, that's not in time of the universe, that's not that real long.
Like that's
afterwards.
7. No, it isn't. I mean, it's like Carl Sagan used to say. It's like in terms of the cosmic calendar.
Yeah.
We're like the millisecond at the end.
Yeah.
So out of every bit of time that's ever happened, everything that's ever happened, we're just that little microsecond at the very end of it.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Yeah.
So, like in terms of everything that's happened in history, we've done fuck all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's also made me think a bit about, the long term, because when you see red outside in space, it means it's further away. Blue's coming towards. If I've got that right, don't quote me on that. But I believe it's red.
Science.
Yeah. Now it's making me think even more on the amount of time now. If we were created from 8 million years after the Big Bang, and that time we've still been going along for like 13.9 billion years, all that stuff that we see now is gone. Everything we see out there generally is
gone.
Dead,
light
gone,
doesn't travel
finished.
that far. I mean, light travels to us, but like what we're seeing isn't there anymore. Potentially.
Yeah, we're actually seeing time as it's stand through
Have
purpose.
you never thought of that before?
Yeah, but I thought it even more deeply. It put me into a
You
thing.
sat there looking up into space, going,
Well,
wow.
So no,
Had you
I
been
was
smoking
calculating.
anything?
No, I've just been trying to calculate that how far back now. If we could go back in time, would it go? If we went 8 million years back, would we reach that point of empty space, or will there still be anything behind
Well,
it?
that's the big question, isn't it? It was like what came before the Big Bang, and if we could go back to the point before the Big Bang happened, what would we find?
Well,
would it be a universe that was coming to the end of its life and then banging to create a next one?
Well, they think
or would it be a creator or something more profound? I don't know.
I think they found it like the river of energy, and then there was an antimatter or matter that.
Wow.
But now the question is, why was the Big Bang done? It's not a matter of what's behind the Big Bang. It's like what
super
created
deep for me
that
tonight.
For us.
I get where you're coming from, and this is right up my street.
Yeah.
But wow, I can't even comprehend that at the moment.
Yeah, it's
a mind blower, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I did find this story about the new company on the block, Spaceflight Inc.
Oh yeah.
So they've had 2 successful launches.
Good for them.
As it's got to deal with what's it, SpaceX, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
But it's had a bit of friction with them.
All right.
Yeah, because of the launches and stuff. But thanks to its role in its pre-launch logistics, Seattle-based Spaceflight Inc. can now claim to share credit for 2 successful satellite deployments.
Nice.
So within 24 hours this week, It's worked with SpaceX as a long-time launch partner. So, yeah, not too bad.
It's not, and actually SpaceX is actually stopped making the Dragon,
Well, maybe
crew
these guys
for the
do it
Dragons
better.
now, because they've finished. They've done all their flights and that now, so they've done all the missions, and now they're still continuing.
Yeah, I
but
know, but he's sending all of his satellites up
He
as
is,
well, isn't
yeah.
he? So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like we're getting...
We've got a challenge against China.
You know, he might trying to double his efforts by getting
Yeah.
in a partner who can also send rockets up and
Yeah,
have
double the
successful
impact.
rockets. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can send twice as many.
Yeah, that's what it needs to before the Chinese one comes up and starts operating.
We need to
because-
ramp it up, guys.
Yeah. Good on you. Let's keep the technology
Well,
coming.
have you got anything else? I've got one last story.
Yeah, there was in February last year we heard the first sounds of Mars. Now, since then, there's been
Yeah, in fact, we played this. We played
did.
the sounds, the audio clip of Mars, the
Yeah.
winds of Mars. It sounded pretty eerie.
Yeah, that's
But it was
right.
when the new rover went up, pretty much. Was it? Discovery, or was it?
I can't remember, to be honest.
There's two of them. Well,
There is.
the one with the helicopter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on Friday, it was announced that, like, the recording, there was actually two. It sounded like there was two winds, so it was like getting awkward, and they wanted to find out exactly what was going on. Was it actually the sounds we
You
were
should have said
hearing?
about this. I would have got it queued.
Oh, right.
Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah.
So you
it
keep
might be
talking. I will try and find this audio.
Well, basically, they're saying there was lots of questions about it because it sounded like there was a wind on top of another wind, so there was two winds going on. So they didn't know if it was actually the environment there, or was there something within the environment to actually put a different sound across. But now, on Friday, they've actually turned round and announced that it was two speakers.
Okay.
Actually hadn't been, properly aligned to actually listen.
So
And
here
here
we
it
go.
is.
So is it that sound?
Yeah, it's that wind, but there's a secondary wind behind it. Do you hear it?
Yeah, kind of. Maybe it's the rotors of the
The
what's it
spaceships.
call it? Oh, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Like a humming sound. Is that the helicopter?
I wonder.
Anyway, yeah. So like the there was a weird, strange sort
Yeah.
of double wind there, weren't there? And what was that?
And they finally found
So
out
you're
it
saying
was
that
two
what was that
microphones.
tweaky noise? That sort of like
Vibration.
yeah.
And that could have actually been the operating of when they, pick up the stand, and then
Oh,
they
right,
want to
yeah, I
split the particles.
suppose.
They shake it. They shake it into different blocks, so then they can take it away, get it iced, burnt, put different elements to it to see what reaction would actually come out, and if there's any sign of life, hopefully.
Right. Okay. Well, I've got one last story. And apparently it's from The Guardian, and they say something is coming, and America's finally ready to take UFOs seriously.
Yes, about time. About time.
So-
But I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
Don't believe it.
Well, UFO watchers say 2022 could have like a bumpy year in terms of like woke people and people getting on the aliens.
Yeah, because they've set up
last
new
year
agencies.
it was a breakthrough time for UFOs,
Yeah.
and a landmark government report wasn't very landmark.
No.
Didn't really say
Very
anything.
shit.
But they at least acknowledged the possibility of extraterrestrials. Whether that be visitors or people that they're still here, maybe they live here.
And I just found out as well that we've done exactly the same.
How do you mean? What, the UK?
Yeah, we've announced a number of years ago, which that they believe that there was an investigation basically into ufology, like Project Blue Book in America, and it come in the 90s, and they actually turned round and said in the report that they do believe that it's something else that's
of course.
controlling these machines. But in public, apart from that public report, they won't say anything. They want to keep stum because they don't want to get caught out.
Yeah,
They don't want to get caught, and they only want to let us know a little bit. They won't want us to. If someone come up with a nice diamond and just went bang, there you go, and we all went
irrefutable evidence.
yeah,
You mean, yeah?
You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying 2022 could be an even more profound year. Experts say that more people are kind of asking for disclosure, and the discovery continues to grow. In terms of scientific, it's exploration into the field. It's bringing us closer to discovering non-Earth life, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
well, like even NASA's turned around and said they're going to find something within 20 years. They guarantee it, even if it's micro, which they think it will be. They don't think it's going to be a form of like a grey going, hello, come to my party.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice.
It's not going to be the... I mean, at the end of the day, life's life. I mean, if you can find... It's just... When you start finding, like, microbes and particles, it's like, what do they... You know, as we know, if we go evolution sort of way, then do they have the capacity to evolve into something else? And are they going to thrive in their evolution on our planet? And
what do they want?
Well, exactly. Well, they might not know what they want until, and most new life forms just want to breed and survive. So
True.
You know,
and we are in the solar system, a noisy place. We've thrown so many radio waves out, so many high frequencies, low frequencies, and even sent messages out with satellites. You know, looking for. So we are actually. But the question is, if when they get here, what will they want? Well, it will be an Independence Day, or will it be we come in peace? But then I think they've been here for a long time, and they're just like helping. Well, I suppose helping.
We just want to be friends.
Yeah,
come on, be like Valiant 4.
Yeah.
Come in here, like, let's be friends.
Yeah.
I just want to be a friend.
Yeah, come in.
And it's like, I tell you all about my spaceship.
Come to this underground base in
we'll
Dulce.
Lock you there.
Yeah, come down to the last level.
There you go. That's the news.
That's the
that's the show, actually. That's pretty much everything. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed talking about dragons tonight. It's, I mean, in terms of topics, it was quite an interestingly fun dragony topic.
It's still like an open...
it's an open sort of book, isn't it, really? Isn't it, that one? If you've got any more information or comments, queries or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. And you can do that in a number of ways.
Definitely.
You can hit up the website at never a straight answer at... well, I forgot what the website... neverastraightanswer.co.uk.
Yeah, he's got it right.
Yeah, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com.
You can.
Yeah, you can go on Twitter at NASA_never.
Yeah.
Or on Instagram at neverstraightanswer.
All the above and more.
Yeah, go on the website though, because it's full of all sorts of stuff, from blogs to downloadable content to videos and the podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable place to be.
It is.
I'm sure you agree.
It will keep you busy.
We've got all the links in the description for the HelloFresh deal, as well as all our links to all our sites and all our platforms. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week for another exciting episode.
Yeah, yippee!
Don't know what we're going to be talking about, but we know what we do. We're always 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, we're always on
game.
the mark. Yeah, always.
Yeah, well,
we just pretend we're not.
We act like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well,
we don't do it.
Hopefully, we'll catch you next time, and share us about.
Yeah.
Have I missed
Spread
anything?
The word, man. Spread
you
the
can
word.
get some merch as well. I always forget about the merch because I'm not like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm all about pushing stuff. Now, he's saying that he's making his dragon thong. Yeah. And Cisco's really interested.
Yeah, he's bought 2 already.
There you go, man. Yeah. You see what I mean? He's on that fong, dragon fong.
Yeah.
He loves it.
He loves it.
I'm sure you'll write a song
Looks
about
nice
it.
in him as well, actually.
We'll catch you next week. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Out. Boom.